Chapter 8 Who's the Bad Guy Now? Agent's dad knocked on the door. Agent covered his head with pillow and mumbled, "Come in." His dad sat on the bed. "Are you okay, son?" Agent's dad felt by strange talking to the pillow. Did something happen with Charlie? Everything went wrong with Charlie. Agent blurted, throwing a pillow off his face. Turbo wrote to Charlie and not me when I called Turbo first. And then Charlie let Mooney sat next to him on the bus just 'cause he called firsties, and he wanted to push him on the swing just 'cause it was my turn to push. And most of all, he stole my favorite double ever Super Dudes number 429 comic. Agent took a deep breath. Saying all those words at once made his face turn really red. Agent's dad thought about his son's problem very carefully, mostly because he had no idea what Turbo Firsties and Double ever even meant, but also because he loved Agents and didn't want to mess things up even more. Luckily, Agent's dad knew one way he could help. "Agent, I don't think Charlie stole your Super Dude comic." "How would you know that unless you have X-ray vision or something?" Agent paused for a moment, then asked hopefully, Do you have X-ray vision?" "No, son, but I do have this." Agent's dad pulled out the missing copy of Super Dudes number 429. Agent practically fell out of his bed. How did his dad got his Super Dudes comic? Was he the one who took the comic from the agent's room? But why? Then it hit Agent. Alien stole his dad's brain, stuck it in a jar, and replaced it with an evil alien robot brain. Agent leaped from his bed. "Don't you worry, Dad. Captain Awesome will save your brain." "My brain is fine, although I do get a little headache sometimes when I see your mom made more peas for dinner. But why did you take my comic? If Alien didn't steal his dad's brain?" Well, Agent was very confused. "I didn't take it. I found it in the Molly's baby doll stores, and I think she took it because she wanted to play with you. She wanted to do something you like to do." "She wanted to play with me?" Agent thought. "When I saw her in the backyard, I kinda called her a bad guy and told her to not open the doorway on the backyard." Agent confessed, feeling rotten. "Molly was going to open the doorway to the backyard? This is pretty serious stuff." Agent's dad put an arms around his son. The boy stared quietly at the Super Dudes comic. "Agent, do you know what makes Super Dudes a superhero? It's not a costumes or superpowers. It's because when someone needs help, Super Dudes does everything he can help them, no matter who they are. They treat everyone with kindness and respect, except for the bad guys, of course, and that make him someone the rest of us can look up to and admire, just like Molly does to you, her big brother." The last word made the agents have a terrible thought. Yes, even more terrible than Super Dudes covered in drugs. He hadn't been very nice to his little sister, and if she was the one who took his Super Dudes comic, then he had been pretty rotten to Charlie as well. The thought was really hard for Agent to swallow, even harder than his mom's icky peas. Maybe it was Captain Awesome who was acting like a bad guy after all. Chapter 9 Something Better Than Pizza. The next day at school was Friday. Friday. Pizza Friday are the most awesome day of the week because, in case you couldn't guess by the name, they serve pizza in the cafeteria. Agent loved it much more than Mystery Meat Mondays. Actually, even loved almost anything more than Mystery Meats Monday. But this Friday, Agent wasn't very excited about much, even pizza. He took a bite of the cheesy triangle and sighed. Usually, he and Charlie would see who could make the longest cheese rings from their mouth to the pizza slice. But making cheese rings wasn't much fun sitting alone. Charlie was sitting across the cafeteria. He wasn't making cheese ring either. Agent picked up his lunch tray and handed over. Agent had a lot to say. There was so much to explain, but he left it all up to one word. Sorry. Charlie shrugged and ate his pizza. Agent continued. Captain Awesome I didn't treat you very well and I'm sorry. Will you please come back to the Sunnyview Superhero Squad? Because the safety of the universe kinda depends on it, Charlie asked. No, Agent replied, because you're my best friend. Charlie smiled. He was about to say something, but made a cheese rings instead. I bet you can't beat that one. Agent bit his pizza. A cheesy cheese rings stretched from his mouth to the pizza slice. The string broke and flapped over Agent's chin. Me too, Agent and Charlie said at the same time. The two boys laughed at their happiness, washed away any bad feelings over their fight. So bad guy beware. Nacho Cheesemans and Captain Awesomes were back. The Sunnyview Superhero Squad was together again, and just in time for a sleepover on Friday night. Chapter 10. The Stink of Friendship. The next morning, Agent and Charlie both woke with a start. Whoo! Charlie, Mr. Droll is back. Agent gasped and quickly reached under his pillow to make sure Super Dude's number 429 was still there. I'm all cheesed up and ready to go. Charlie wiped down 2 cans of cheese and popped the top. Zip, zip. In a flash, the boys pulled out their superhero outfit, and a moment later, Captain Awesome, Nacho Cheeseman, and Turbo, in his plastic hamster ball, the Turbo Mill, climbed down the ladder to the battle with the Droll Kiss Mr. Drolls. They jumped off the ladders and onto the surface of the moon, only to be met by the shocking sounds of garlish. Gur booby grah. Oh no, Nacho Cheeseman cried out, holding his canned cheese even tighter. It's Queen Sneaky Pants. Agent was about to unleash some awesome Captain Awesomeness on his army, but then he remembered what his dad says. I think she's just want to play with us. I mean, fight evil with us. Captain Awesome says, just in time to stop Nacho Cheeseman from launching his free cheese attack. We can always use some extra hero power to defeat Mr. Droll. Queen Sneaky Pants was going to help them? Nacho Cheeseman was confused for a second. Then he realized Super Dude's famous rule, 42. Sometimes evil teams up with goodness to fight bigger evil. Maybe it was like that with Mr. Drolls and Queen Sneaky Pants. After all, the slobbering mantis did gobble up the Queen's favorite stink doll just last week. Captain Awesome stuck out a hand to Queen Sneaky Pants and asked, Do you want to help us? Gurgle ha 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 he giggle. Queen Sneaky Pants laughed with joy and she hugged Captain Awesome flat. No hugging. The captain blushed and quickly unpalled her. Come on, hero, let's put Mr. Jules back in the doghouse. Captain Awesome called out and led the charge. There was a strange smile on the Queen Sneaky Pants' face as the three heroes rushed into the battles. There were an evil, stronger smell coming from her diaper. Captain Awesome knew she might not be able to trust her forever, but at last, on this day, there were three heroes fighting side by side against the dreaded Mr. Jules and his piles of decorations, and Agent wouldn't have any other way. Me tea.